I don't think they ever want another Drake to walk into that building. I think they want nothing more than the people that they hire to do a job that allows AI music at some point in time to replace the issues and problems that a Drake
That an
presents.
artist
AI
brings.
is
Yeah.
not gonna sue me. AI not gonna sue me. AI is not gonna talk bad about what I didn't do for them. AI is just gonna post the content I wanted to post, make the music I wanted to make, and then we go about our business and keep producing music at whatever speed we want. We don't want to hear how you artists are not inspired right now.
A version of that. I think it's going to be a version of that. I think it's about creating human avatars instead of digital ones. Like if you're a young social media person and I don't need you to be able to rap well, I can AI everything, get your music, and always have the best hits coming through. That's what they want to move this into, just like they tried to do with that.
I think
other
that there
situation.
is for sure a level of the game where you can have computers making the music instead of people. The music that we listen to in Target, that Muzak crap that we get in elevators, you don't need actual human beings to make that shit. But to make
Yeah.
stuff that really truly captivates people, you know,
Tailor made.
those artists who are bigger than their music, you know, for Drake fans, for Taylor Swift fans, for Beyonce fans, those artists could release a dud album and the fans would still be there for the next album, the next tour, because they are fans of the artist and they care about the artist. And a machine, you're never going to love a machine like that. And I think they
I agree.
I
understand
don't
that, like,
I don't know if that's
I,
true. I think we're unaware of how much people are into machines and into or will be into it too. Like if you're actually getting something that's AI, I'm looking at AI art on Instagram pages that have like 1 million followers, fake woman, AI woman, fake art, like art that is just someone producing the same thing over and over again, and they have thousands upon thousands of likes and comments that are positive. We are being molded to accept this AI stuff, and we don't understand, like Lupe said, like when you were talking about, we don't understand how much AI is going to be, how good it's going to be. It's going to be so good that we're not going to be to know the difference between a real person and not. So if it's that, a whole movie is going to be AI. If I could see last Friday with Chris Tucker in it, and he wasn't in it, but it was just as good and hilarious, and it looks real, I'm watching that shit. We won't know.
but we're the early adopters too, and I have to think that there's going to be the same way that people refuse to get rid of vinyls and CDs and they held on to physicals even as the streaming era emerged. I think if anything, it emboldens, it makes people feel a certain amount of pride that this is human made because of where the trend is going.
Facts.
Is this something that people will gravitate towards? Of course, because a lot of folks are sheepish when it comes to listening. I, as somebody that's in this, you as somebody that's in this, yeah, we can see the prompts doing amazing things and it will get better. We know some of them fingers don't be adding up, right? We know some of the details, the nuance, the power is in the prompt. This has been my whole stance with AI. The power is in the prompt. They're never going to be able to explain how, if I say God forbid my house went through a fire, that's a life-changing experience that may change the fabric of my voice and the fabric of my music forever. So now we now have to pivot from here, and whatever the predictive AI or whatever it's doing to predict what's going to happen next is playing copy paste, copy catch up. So I say that in line with my last point, which is I do feel like the labels want a situation in which music ain't making the money that it was anyways. They already talked about deprioritizing hip hop to begin with. Even if people rebel against it, will it make enough money in different places like sync opportunities in different places that we're not even thinking about? Maybe like AI digital jukeboxes where you can hear 17 genre versions of a song. I'm just thinking in the future of this. Could that be enough money for them to say, I would rather lose the amount of money that I would have dealing with a real person because of the issues of a Drake? I'd rather deal with AI and just make.
I agree with that. They both can exist at the same time, is what you're saying.
I think that the amount of money that Drake brings in, ditto Taylor and The Weeknd and Beyonce, those top tier artists, the problems, we can deal with the problems. because you both understand that it is a top heavy business as far as the top 10th are bringing in enough revenue that supports the other every other artist, right? That's what Leo Cohen explained to me a long time ago, that one big hit will allow the label to take 9 more shots at on goal, right? To have enough money to put up 9 other artists to have a chance to them get platinum. So you need those Drakes, those Beyoncé's, those tent pole artists who can then bring in enough revenue for other artists. So now we can gamble. You're
Mhm.
it's going to be hard to get beyond the monsters, right? To rely on these sort of monsters, and like I said, like you could make an AI album at some point, but a career to where I've been following Beyonce since she was a teenager. We saw her on Star Search, and then we saw DC come and go, and then
Mm-hmm.
she, early Beyonce, later, but and now she's a mom, and like,
I think those are two different things, and I agree with you. To bring this back to hip hop and bring the conversation back to hip hop and black culture and art, that can never be stopped. It's the same thing with TikTok, like how black TikTok drives the force and the creativity and the culture. That happens within music and everywhere, in culture in general. Like the black culture drives and creates innovation, just like Silicon Valley is the head of technology, right? Black people are the head of culture. That can never die. I don't think that can ever go away as long as there's black people, right? So that's going to exist and it'll forever innovate. And the way that tools are now, it only seems like it's seemingly easier for black people to get ahead in culture, right? But I do think someone being able to copy it is being easier. And that's the problem and the issue. Whereas like you have rappers like the ones that Tyler was talking about. Tyler the Creator was talking about all these rappers who exist because of someone like Drake, where they can just adopt certain things from the culture, colonize it real quick, and live in their own space. You guys don't even know about some of these people. Like you got white rappers who are damn near Nazis, like Tom McDonald, right? Then you got rappers who are adopting and colonizing the culture and have their own fan base of kids, and we just not even looking at it. That's the actual issue, where that can now be what AI is doing. So we're going to be creating and innovating still as black culture, but something else is going to be eating and taking away food, and that's the thing that's possible. And I think
Right. Before we pivot, I want to make one last point before we pivot, because I know folks hate this conversation about AI at times, especially my audience hates it as well. But I'll say this: I think it was really telling. I think it was really telling when I saw the founder of Suno. If you remember, when you started hearing songs like BBL Drizzy, BBL, that was AI generated, obviously, right? Nobody in the 60s was thinking about Drizzy.
BBL, yeah.
Right. So Suno's another company that basically allowed folks to auto-generate AI-generated music. And they didn't disclose the time, but they were taking from existing catalogs, and that's how they were able to make these accurate type of things. On a podcast recently, their founder of Suno, I forget the guy's name, I think it's Michael. This guy straight up said, we feel like we're solving a problem. What's the problem? Music it takes too much time to make. You know what? Music, people don't like. Let's be honest. Most people don't like to sit down and make music, right? Am I right? He's saying all of this, and I'm me as an artist. I'm like, are you out of your effing mind? You look like somebody that never made music. But this is the narrative that they're pushing. That's my bigger thing, is that they're pushing this to normalize this, not for people in my generation, but for like a younger generation that's like, yeah, I would like to be able to make beats like Ninth Wonder. But who wants to go through 20 years of experience to do it when I can sit here and AI generate it and still get the same benefits? We know how short-sighted that is. Some people, I'm willing to bet, are willing to pay to find out for themselves later on how short-sighted that is. They're willing to pay just for the experience. And that's what they're pushing. So when I see that, I know exactly what the game is. I know what it is.